Thursday Night Football, the game that starts every football week. In this video, I rank every single Thursday Night Football game during the 2019 NFL season. Which game is the most interesting? Which game is the worst? Before I get into my list of ranking the level of entertainment for each game from last to first, Gronk spike the like button, subscribe to the Bottom Line View if you haven't already, and comment below your rankings. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? The opener between the Packers and the Bears that is starting off the NFL season in 2019 will not be found on this list due to the fact that it is being broadcast by NBC. The Atlanta-New Orleans game will also not be on this list because it is a traditional Thanksgiving game. Kicking off the list at number 15, week number 9, the 49ers at the Cardinals. Outside of the Cliff Kingsbury versus Kyle Shanahan matchup, which is the offensive mastermind versus offensive mastermind, two young coaches going at it, I just don't really see much of a storyline for this game. The 49ers could be a very talented team, so I'll be intrigued with them. But as for the Cardinals, I don't see them having a very successful season, so that's why it's here in last place. At number 14, week number 3, the Titans at the Jaguars. We've just seen this game on primetime, especially Thursday Night Football, way too often, and it's usually very dull, and it's usually very slow, low scoring, and just not all that exciting. Maybe Nick Foles changes things and no Blake Bortles is a positive. This could be the Derrick Henry show part 2, so I guess that's sort of intriguing, but I've seen it before. That's why it's at 14. At number 13, week number 6, the Panthers at the Buccaneers in London. Now, this is the second time that this game is going to be broadcast by Thursday Night Football, so I guess that's pretty unique in that facet. It is a 9:30 a.m. Eastern time start, so it's going to be an early game for a lot of football fans on the East Coast. The game is played in London. It's Cam Newton versus Jameis Winston. It could have some intrigue in a high-scoring football game, but because it's the second one of the same matchup on this list, I had to put it pretty low. At number 12, week number 8, the Washington Redskins visit the Minnesota Vikings, and this is going to be Kirk Cousins' game. This is all about Kirk Cousins. It's his old team versus his new team. It's him trying to prove his old team wrong, and really, can he lift the Vikings over the Washington Redskins while the Redskins have some bum at quarterback? At number 11, week number 9, the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And at least with this game, the Jags, this is their second home. The Jaguars, they love playing in London. This is an exciting atmosphere when they play in London. And the Houston Texans and the Jaguars, I could see this being a huge game inside the division. There's a lot of defensive stars in this game, from Jalen Ramsey to JJ Watt. So I could see this game being a rough, tough, old school football game at number 11. At number 10, week number 6, the New York Giants visit the New England Patriots. It's the old school Boston versus New York rivalry. The only problem here is that the Giants probably won't be a very good team, while the Patriots will probably beat on them for much of this game, so I'm not really looking forward to it too much. But at least the game is in New England, which makes it exciting in prime time. There's nothing like New England, Foxborough in prime time. And it's a Super Bowl 42 and Super Bowl 46 rematch with that storyline that we haven't really seen in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. At number 9, week 10, Chargers at Raiders. Now, this is potentially a very high-scoring game in the black hole. There's also personalities everywhere. I love Phillip Rivers on primetime. I also love John Gruden facial expressions. So this is going to be a facial expression game between Phillip Rivers and John Gruden. You also throw in Antonio Brown into the mix. You have Keenan Allen in the mix, and this could make for a very interesting game. At number 8, week 2, the opener for Thursday Night Football, which is the Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. Like I said, I think this is two exciting offenses. Hopefully Cam Newton is healthy at this time in the season, and the Panthers are really looking like a promising team. While in week number 2, we're still looking to see what Bruce Arians' Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be all about, so that's why I have it here at number 8. At number 7, week number 7, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. I think all of these games are fantastic. Every single one I watch between the Broncos and the Chiefs, it always goes down to the wire. It's always exciting, and it always features a matchup of defense versus offense. None better than this season. Can Mahomes throw another left-handed pass in this game? We'll have to see. Vic Fangio versus Andy Reid. So it doesn't really get much more exciting than that in terms of a coaching matchup. At number 6, week number 15, the New York Jets at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, you might wonder why this game's so high. Well, it is Darnold versus Lamar, so there's a little bit of history there between the quarterbacks being drafted in the same year at the same time, and it's also a potential playoff game here in terms of, okay, are the Jets going to make the playoffs? Are the Ravens going to make the playoffs? And I think this could have really big implications on who makes the playoffs or who doesn't. It's essentially win and you're in, or it's lose and you're out for the Jets and the Ravens in week number 15. At number 5, week number 5, the Rams at the Seahawks. Now, they had 2 fantastic games last season. It's the highest paid player in the NFL in Russell Wilson versus the highest paid defensive player in Aaron Donald. Todd Gurley typically has great games against the Seahawks. They had 2 games that went down to the wire last season. It's a epic coaching matchup between Pete Carroll and Sean McVay. An NFC West matchup in Seattle. Seattle's one of the best home field advantages, and that place will be rocking on a Thursday night early in the season. At number 4, week number 12, the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans, a divisional matchup that could be for the division in the AFC South. The Colts, of course, are going to be a team that I really like in the AFC South to make a run this season at that division. The Houston Texans, at the same time, they did very well last year winning the division. Can they do it again? Can they repeat? The Colts will be looking to take that crown away from them. So this is going to be 2 very exciting offenses, 2 very good quarterbacks going against each other, and potentially a high-scoring game right in kind of the core part of the NFL season where they're determining who's going to be in the playoffs, who's not going to be in the playoffs. And this game in week number 12 could be for the division in the AFC South. At number 3, week 14, the Cowboys at the Bears. Of course, Chicago on prime time. Love it. Always love it. Defense, defense, defense. Cowboys have a great defense, a great pass rush, going after Mitch Trubisky. That'll be very interesting. And then for the Bears defense was one of the tops in the league last year, so this could be a potentially very low scoring game. It could also be played in the snow or some elements, so that would be very intriguing from my point of view as a fan that loves to see the snow and loves to see the rain and loves to see the mud. Bears, Cowboys, week 14, a defensive football game that I think could have huge playoff implications. At number 2, week number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Not only is this Aaron Rodgers versus Carson Wentz, both of these quarterbacks can potentially take over a game and put on an absolute show with their physical ability, but you have 2 teams that I think will be right in the middle of the playoff conversation in January, which means that week number 4, this is going to be a big game in terms of seeding and seeing where these 2 teams will place in the playoffs. I'm a true believer that the Packers can make it back to the playoffs this year, as well as the fact that the Eagles are going to be a contender for the Super Bowl. So at number 2, week number 4, Eagles, Packers, Rodgers, Wentz. And at number 1, the number 1 Thursday night football game for this season is week 11, Pittsburgh Steelers at Cleveland Browns. This game could be for the division. I strongly believe that the Browns will take that next step, and this will be the game where the Steelers have that chance to shut down the dog pound, shut them up, and reclaim the AFC North. Ben Roethlisberger will be motivated. A young Baker Mayfield with the chip on his shoulder going to head-to-head against the legend. And then you have Odell Beckham Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster. A lot of fireworks in this game in Cleveland, which will be even more interesting than if this game was played in Pittsburgh. Those are my rankings for every single Thursday night football game in 2019. If you guys enjoyed, Gronk spike that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's Mitch of the Bottom Line View. Peace.